And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Service Box. My name is Tim Backers, joined with TJ Bamba, the commissioner of the LPRT, and two special guests this evening, Kelani Lawrence and Connor Shane. Thank you so much for joining us. If you wouldn't mind, maybe start with Kelani. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you're doing on the Service Box.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am living in Norfolk, Virginia right now. It's my hometown. We just moved over from Roanoke, Virginia. So exciting stuff. Haven't been doing much in quarantine because we really can't do much. But I am 26 years old. I had a birthday in quarantine, so that was really exciting. And I guess the current reigning national champion for 2 years, since we didn't get to have a national championships this year. So I'm going to take it.
All right, Connor, you're up.
Sure. My name's Connor Shane. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm the new director of national events for USAR Racquetball. So this is a super cool kind of a crossover event that I'm happy to be on. I'm really excited to kind of see how this goes. I've seen a couple of the episodes. I've looked back at some of them, and I'm really excited to do this trivia.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about how you got into this role, because I think a lot of people, unless they watched or heard an interview of you on a national championships or whatever, don't really know too much about you. So how did you get into this position?
Yeah, sure. So I was an athlete my whole life. So I was a gymnast for about 14 years here in Colorado Springs. I got recruited for the training center when I was 12 or 13, stayed there for a couple of years as a resident athlete, and then decided my path was a little bit different. So I quit everything and then went to college. So that was awesome. One of the best decisions I've ever made. So I have a degree in international business in French. And then I got a job at the Olympic Committee. For about a year and a half, I worked with them doing prep work for Pyeongchang. And then I got a job with fencing, USA Fencing here in the Springs also. So I ran their national circuit. It was about 15 events a year. I was with them for about 3 years. And then the racquetball position, recruiting. So now I'm with you.
You sound way more interesting than I do.
I'm not training national of anything.
Before we get going, let's just remind you a little bit about the Service Box and how this operates. We're going to start with TJ doing some fast questions to Kelani and Connor. They've promised to be brief. Kelani, once we're done that, we're going to go to fan questions. So if you're watching and you have a question about USAR and Connor, if you have a question about LPRT and competing for the US, ask Kelani and we'll get them to those two. And then we'll go into the trivia game. So be sure to join us for that. Let me tell you a little bit about what you need to do in advance. You can see here, you need to go to Kahoot.it. This is the third, I think, TJ, time that we've done this. And we're slowly getting better at it. Maybe not in answering it, but more efficient. Enter the pin 9510589. So Kahoot.it, pin number 9510589. Connor and Kelani have already entered. They're waiting. TJ's playing as well. I'm playing as well. We'll see if you can beat the four of us. So be sure to do that. Let's get going, though. TJ, you're at the controls.
Okay, so Kelani, you already answered this first question. Hometown.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
All right. First sport you ever played?
Basketball.
Gymnastics.
Okay. Last thing you did right before you joined this live chat?
Ate ice cream.
Brush my teeth.
Oh. Last book you read?
The Bible.
The whole thing, the entire Bible.
I'm not an avid reader, okay?
That before or after the ice cream?
I don't know what I've read last. I have no idea. An online article.
Okay. All right. Connor, what'd you say?
Linchpin.
I'm sorry, what?
Linchpin.
Linchpin. Okay. First job you ever had?
I worked at a Mexican restaurant called Mi Hogar right down the street from here.
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard. All right. What would be your worst job you could ever have?
Could ever have or have?
No. What would be your worst job? Like the worst job that you could see yourself in, unsuited to you.
Unsuited. I'm not suited.
Yeah.
Let's do politician, I guess.
That's a good answer.
I think mine would be like pest or insect control.
Okay. All right. So two good answers. Very good answers.
I changed mine. That thing.
I don't like, stuff like that.
Gross stuff. What is the worst advice you have ever received?
Stop trying so hard so that you work the same level as everybody else.
Huh.
If you do something very poorly the first time, no one will ask you to do it again. Like, laundry or something. Just do it really bad the first time, and then you won't ever have to do it.
Okay. I'm going to say that could go both ways, good and bad advice.
I won't, it could. It's either the best advice I've ever received or the worst.
Okay, well, I'm going to switch that. What's the best advice you have ever received?
That people are more important than things.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
I should have gone first.
It's rapid fire. Come on.
Don't think, just jump.
Don't think, just answer the question as fast as you can.
No, that wasn't what I'm saying. That was my
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right. What is the silliest thing you have done during stay-at-home quarantine?
I built a cornhole set out of boredom.
I got a puppy.
Wow.
That's silly. That's a good thing, though. All right. Last question. What is something that inspires you?
Solid.
There's so many things. To just help others.
Okay. Good. All good answers. You guys did great. Thank you. Turn everything back over to Tim.
I like TJ that you identified that they did great. How do you do great on a response like this?
Well, the contract was rapid fire, and they were pretty.
So I'm going to know, TJ, what job is not suited to you?
Ooh.
Come on, quick, rapid fire.
Turn the tables. I'm going to go politician, too. I'm going to steal that answer.
Yeah, I think elementary school teacher would be one I would struggle with greatly. Yeah, been there, did that for a little while, learned my lesson. Okay, we're moving on. Thanks, TJ, for the quick fire. This is an opportunity for all of you watching. If you have questions for Kelani and Shane, to put them in the chat box, and then we'll get them to her and him. And you see, we're not used to having guys on. So yeah, Connor, here we go. First question comes in from JP, and he says, Kelani, I'm your biggest fan. JP, how do you know you're his biggest fan? You're her biggest fan. I want to know that. How are you staying in shape during quarantine, and does it involve the new dog?
Yeah, I do lots of squats carrying her, and then I can do like a press. Yeah, she's getting big, so it's really helping my. Yeah. Have you seen them?
This one and this one and that one.
Well, at the start, Sudsy had that awesome stay-at-home battle, so I got to compete in that. So that kind of helped kick off quarantine workouts. So that was awesome. And then after that, kind of just when we were living in Roanoke, we had a small, teeny downtown apartment. So the only thing we could do was take this one on walks or go to the park and like wrap a TRX around some bars and just do our best with what we had. And then once we moved here, now we have a big garage, so we can start some home garage workouts. So, and things are starting to open up. So on the climb.
I remember seeing the pictures of your new house. Very, very nice. And be sure, if you haven't, to go on Kelani's Facebook page and see the dog as well, and check out the new dog, because I know you're very, very proud of the dog. Connor, talk a little bit about what your new role is with USAR, because like I said, if people haven't heard your interview, what are your roles and responsibilities in that job?
Sure. So I'm managing our championship circuit. So that includes our doubles, our singles, the intercollegiates, the juniors, and the high schools. So that will also include the Open after Doug Ganem has his 25-year anniversary. Super excited for that one. So after that property is now USA Racquetballs, and so that's something I'll manage as well. That was mostly one of the reasons I got hired, because it's a way different event than the championships. So much bigger. It's got a different feel to it, so it just has to be treated differently. So I will manage those holistically, and then a lot of what I'll do is revenue generation. So use our event circuit, which is what I did back at fencing. So my job was to manage our national events budget to not only increase revenue, but to decrease expenses, and really get the ball rolling in our event circuit.
Do you, in that respect, can you talk a little bit about what the Open might look like in hopefully 18 months time?
Sure. Hopefully seamless. So I've had a lot of meetings with Doug. Obviously, he's a huge part of that event, and it's going to be a huge loss for him to retire, but everybody's super excited to see him retire. But hopefully, the information that Doug can give me, and then being to the event, I did go to the one in Minneapolis. We try and make that transition almost as seamless as possible. So I think the turnkey vibe that he has created on that event is really powerful, and I don't want to change that.
Next question up is again from JP, trying to prove that he's your biggest fan, Kelani. How does your business degree help you promote yourself as a professional athlete?
Well, it's helped a lot in the sense of, with my business degree, they talked a lot about entrepreneurship and kind of growing a business that you want to start up. And as professional athletes, you're the business. So it's kind of learning how to sell yourself, market yourself to sponsors, potential sponsors, to fans. And so that's helped a lot. Of course, I guess presentation giving has been a big one. So I like to think that I'm good in the public eye, but other than that, it's kind of helped me create marketing packets for myself, and kind of build a brand for myself, and hopefully get some supporters financially too.
It's a good lesson for other players too.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Connor, looking at it from your perspective, you have that background as well. What do athletes need to do in order to promote themselves better in this sport?
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah, well, looking at athletes in this sport who are trying to make a business out of it, what can they do to kind of leverage sponsors and show that return on investment that they need to in order for a business to say, yeah, I want to sponsor you?
Sure. I would say from what I've seen in the industry, the majority of the athletes that are making the towards a significant level of revenue personally have really learned to market themselves on social media. So I think the industry is moving towards a more social media faceted sponsorship role. So I've seen athletes, one of our athletes at fencing was very prominent on Instagram. The most followers that other athlete, he's sponsored by Red Bull. And he was really leveraging what fencing as a sport existed as, which is a little bit higher end materials, clothing, cars. So he was reaching out to champagne industries. He got a champagne sponsor. He got a sponsor from Audi. So he's really just trying to take the sport that he's used to and trying to leverage those sponsors, and they absolutely love it. So, like, for example, one of the events that I was the tournament director for, we got a car sponsor, but it was Hyundai Genesis. So it's a much higher end Hyundai line, but they absolutely loved it, and our attendees absolutely loved it. So I would say that for any, it's really trying to make that jump towards a significant level of secondary income. really start to leverage either social media presence, but also a social media identity. So they love when an athlete is passionate about what they do, passionate about movements that they support. Obviously, political movements can be seen differently by lots of sponsors, but that's okay, because maybe you supporting a certain movement just means that you are now getting the eye of a sponsor that also supports you, which is really beneficial to really have. So focus hard on that social.
Yeah, TJ, I'd be all right with a champagne sponsor for the LPRT, right?
Me too. Yeah.
Just make a few TikTok videos and just that way too.
Maybe Saber name on your Instagram.
Malia is in the chat box. I think somebody may know Malia Kelani. Malia is her mom. Connor, parlez-vous français?
Oui. Je parle français, Malia.
Très bien.
I've met Malia. She's very nice.
Kirti Kumar says, Kelani, always love the way you play and your style. 3 exclamation points, Kelani. Bonus right there. Although many people may describe your game as unorthodox. Take away a couple of those exclamation points. Do you see your style as unique, and how do you see yourself evolving to keep climbing the rankings?
I mean, what do you guys think my style is?
TJ?
I would say aggressive, definitely aggressive. You're going to cut a lot of balls off instead of waiting for it. You're going to take them out of the air. You're going to take them shoulder high and just keep pressure on your opponent. I mean, that's what I see.
Okay. I guess for me to continue to evolve my game is to just make it into, more, because right now it's more power player, and kind of turn it to the control side as well. And put my opponents on the defensive end, not just from attacking, but also just I'm going to the ceiling, or, wide. I love wide angles and all those shots too, but, taking it to the next level with being more patient and controlling.
Well, Francis says that Kelani is aggressive.
Only when I play him. I'm just kidding.
Brent Walters is a big supporter of the LPRT. Also USAR Racquetball. Brent says, hey, Connor, what's one thing you want to implement at a national event?
Sure. So at national tournaments, I really am going to try and push to increase our tech. Some of the tournaments that I went to, I think there's room to grow in terms of having some live scoring available, multiple monitors around the venue, so that people either having to listen to a microphone that, as some of you know, that sometimes when we're down in the basement, you get a lot of feedback, it's a lot of static, it's really hard to listen to. But that's easily solved by some computer monitors with live scoring, maybe having our live scoring up on apps, stuff like that. Really, I think the tech is a huge focus, and it's really relevant right now. So I think any sport that's not really focusing on increasing their tech or increasing their media outcome, I think needs to be working on it.
Well, let's just take a pause and remind you that if you have questions for Connor or Kelani, to put them in your chat box and we'll get them to them. And also, in a few minutes, we're going to be moving into the Kahoot.it game. We're all ready to play. So if you haven't yet, go on Kahoot.it with the pin 9510589. I see my son in the chat box. He's ready to defend his 5th place from the other week. We'll see how he does against you 3. Okay. Let's continue with some questions. JP is hot in the chat box tonight. He's really working hard. Says, Connor, who are your favorite racquetball players to watch from what you've seen so far?
And you better say me. I'm just kidding.
A loaded question. I was going to say Kelani. She's really aggressive. Her style is really aggressive. So I don't think I've been around enough to pick a favorite player, but I will say that watching the doubles match, the gold medal outs of the doubles match, was unbelievable. So any athlete that can get to that level, that stage, that court, and play that, you're officially my favorite athlete, because that's amazing to watch.
Kelani, what about you? Who do you like to watch play? Doesn't necessarily have to be on the LPRT, but in general, if you're watching, who are you entertained by?
Who am I entertained by? Who is the most entertaining person to watch on the LPRT? I miss Frederique. I loved watching her play. She was a lot of fun to watch. And then on, I guess, the men's side, maybe Jake. I like watching Jake. Just hits the ball so hard. So.
TJ, from an entertainment perspective, who do you like watching?
Gosh, there's so many. As far as the LPRT players, there's so many. I loved watching Frederique. She was so animated. Samantha, to me, is just plays with so much intensity. I love to watch Samantha play. You know, all the players. I can't have any bias towards any of the LPRT players, but they're all so unique. Is what's so fun about it. They all have such different styles and such different court demeanors. So they're all good.
JD Shelton is in the chat box. Says, Kelani, do you support more pro mixed doubles events?
I love mixed. Mixed is so fun. And they had that pro world doubles, and then when they combine the tour stops having the pro mixed events. Those are so much fun. I enjoy playing mixed anyway, so of course I support that. There should be mixed at like national events.
Let me.
I was actually going to ask that, Connor. You know, is this something that you want to implement in the national events or the U.S. Open?
I'm not opposed to it, but I don't know enough about the history of it to make a comment on it.
Such a political, you know.
Make a comment on it because you weren't opposed to it. Okay. Cheryl Godinas said, I would like to ask who's the funniest pro she has ever encountered and all-round best. Thank you. We should disclaimer, Cheryl was on last week, so a bit of a setup here, but.
I feel obligated to say Cheryl. Yeah, I mean, she was pretty hysterical. One of my favorite trips has been going to Mexico in, I want to say 2015 with Cheryl Godinas, Michelle De La Rosa, and then Jake Bredenbeck and Bobby Horn. Just imagine. It was the most hysterical, fun event. And we all did really well. You know, work hard, play hard. That's what I say. But I mean, I just couldn't stop laughing the entire time. It was such a fun trip. So I guess, Cheryl, you could be one of them.
Kirti, again, it says, Connor, tech sounds great. We need people at the events to use the tech. What are some of the programs you're implementing to get people to attend? What does market research say as to why attendance has been on the decline in recent years? And so I think he's talking about the national events like national singles, national doubles.
Sure. I would say from the research that I've looked at, our national doubles and our national singles specifically, I guess if that's what you were aiming at, have been declining for multiple reasons. One of them, obviously, our presence at USA Racquetball has been a little fluctuating recently, and recently being the last 5 to 7 years. So that obviously is affecting it. But on top of that, I also think that the rise of some other tours, professional tours, and some other racquetball and squash, ball, world out racquetball, has led to potentially a drop in membership, including pickleball. So there's a lot of factors. I wouldn't say that it's just one thing. But some of the programs that I really want to do, I would really like to start making our national tournaments, our national championships, a little bit more interactive for the athletes. I think sometimes from what I experience, they seem a little almost assembly line based, right? Like athletes come, they see some of the friends they have, and then they leave. So I think maybe increasing our value add events at a tournament, whether it's an extracurricular event at a hotel that's hosted, that's maybe sponsored, maybe it's a crawfish broil in Louisiana when we're there, like whether it's something that can at least get people interactive. Some sort of value add, I think, is a really big program to try and focus on. I really want people to come to these tournaments and really enjoy their time there. I'm not saying that they're not enjoying it, but you can always enjoy it more.
Maria Renee is in the chat box, the LPRT official. Kelani, I heard you have a personal racquetball brand. Why are you looking like that, Kelani? Can you describe it and mention how it identifies to you?
These are all inside jokes. Everyone's asking about, very personal things here. Well, someone made me a logo. someone very close to Maria Renee's heart, I think, made me a logo of a peacock. And they gave this spirit animal to me because they think I'm very just, I don't know how to describe it. Like that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Go with it. Go with it.
Well, let's use this opportunity to show a rally that you were involved in, and we'll see if it exhibits in this rally. Here we go. Let's take a look.
11-10. 10-10. I'll be down giving the post-match interviews, and then Mike Waddell, executive.
And that's match. That's match. Wow. Incredible. Unbelievable.
Gives me goosebumps.
just only one wing, not two wings. So half a peacock in that situation. And let's take a look at another one. And by the way, before I forget, don't forget Kahoot.it. Use the pin on the screen 951-0589. We're going to come up to that in just a couple minutes.
Good pickup off the back wall. Set up for Enrique. She's unable to put it away.
This time the left side. First time the right side, this time the left side.
Just quick mention the very first video. Thank you to USA Racquetball for allowing us to use the video clip from U.S. Nationals. And second one, obviously, you playing Nancy Enriquez in an LPRT event.
Yep, I'm getting real hot over here just watching these. These were such intense matches. It was ridiculous. I'm getting
a little bit about this year on tour, this season on tour, because it's been really your first full season. What have you experienced, highs, lows, and what have you learned along the way?
It's just been great being able to go to all the stops and really compete, the way I, practice, and really just kind of put my heart and all my focus into racquetball this past year has been really great, and I just want to see what I can do. So hopefully I'll be able to do this for the next few years at least, because this has really been my first full year playing all the pro stops, and it was cut short. We missed like the last 3 or whatever had been canceled or pushed back. But I hope that next year I can continue to build on my game and grow. I'm kind of working on my swing a little bit. So for now, before the pro stops start up again, my game might go down a little bit, but then it'll hopefully shoot on up. And now I live near my mom, so we can train all the time.
A couple more questions, and then we'll get to Kahoot. David Hurt wants to know, do you change your game when you play any left-handed players?
So I do change my serve. But other than that, when I was in Roanoke, I had 2 people I practiced with. One was a lefty and one was a righty. So it was great that I got to have that experience before going to pro stops, because we do have a few awesome lefties on the tour. So yeah, just kind of focusing on my serves, and changing the game is hitting a lot more to the right side of the court instead of the left, and focusing on that. But you really just want to hit it to where they're not. So kind of a little bit, but no, because you don't want to change it so much that you're just thrown off yourself. You still want to play your game, but you just want to make some small changes to adjust to that.
TJ, left-handed players on tour, we only have a few.
Yes, Aaron Rivera.
Alexandra Herrera.
Number 4 player and excellent lefty. Susie Acosta. Ana Laura Flores, yes. Few. But you know what, to your point, I would say that at that level, so many of these players are so strong on both sides that necessarily hitting to their backhand isn't always the best strategy. They're just so good all around. So
I think the one of the main things with playing lefties is getting used to seeing them on the flip side when they're doing their drive serve, that they can be a little more deceptive and have that straight in, drive serve to your backhand a little more down than having to serve across, when righties are trying to serve across your backhand. So that would be the I guess the main thing when playing someone. But so with my move to Norfolk, my left-handed buddy, Jacob Matthews, also just moved here, and he's a really strong lefty. So I just can't get away from him. So I may as well just practice with him all the time. I'm going to have to get used to playing righties, actually.
Couple more. Focus, Kelani. Couple more questions. How is your game similar to your mom's Malia?
Well, I'm a power player.
Watching, by the way, so just be careful how you answer her. Just saying.
She's always like, "You're a power player. I'm a control player." That's what she says. Well, since she's a little older now, we won't say how old, okay? But she still has amazing serves, and I would say I get a lot of my serves from her. She has the best serves, I think, in racquetball. I think she taught me the walk-in serve when I was like 14. And then it's funny over the years seeing other players serve these serves like years later. So I would say she is the best serves in the game. I get all my serves from her. And yeah, I can get her once I get the serve back. I can get her, but she still aces me.
Okay, last question, and then we'll go to Kahoot, and it's from JD Shelton, and he says, Kelani, of all the sponsored doubles you've played, who is the most amazing player you partner with, and why wasn't it me? Oh wait, JD, did I read that right? Why? JD, a good speaker, by the way, of the LPRT, and of course a new USAR board member, Connor. But yeah, JD, talk a little bit about racquetball on the East Coast, because you come across a lot of these players at local events.
Yeah, definitely. JD, congratulations on your new position. That's really exciting. And, of course it was you. It's always whoever I'm talking to, whoever asks the question, it's them. They're the answer. But I think we have an awesome group of players over here on the East Coast, especially in our little area in Virginia. We have a ton of fans that are following, the LPRT and USA Racquetball. They're supporting the businesses that the racquetball players are promoting and building on their own. So I love the players here. They're just really supportive and active in the racquetball community. And I'm excited to be back in this area and play them a little more.
Okay, time for a little Kahoot. So let me just explain what's going on here. I'm going to open this up. Go to kahoot.it or the Kahoot app. You need to enter the PIN 9510589. You can see we already have a healthy number already signed up. It looks like 9 players so far. Now, the key thing here is you need to leave the Facebook page open, and then you need to leave the Kahoot page open so that you have 2 different screens. The question will appear on the Facebook Live stream, and then you enter either the choice that's made available. Now, TJ, we got to say, Jay created some of these questions. They're general trivia, but he's thrown in a few racquetball-related questions, which should be interesting. Okay, just give everybody a few seconds. Kelani, we need to know what your name is, because I know a lot of people are. Daring Dingo just signed in, desperately wants to meet you.
I forgot what it is.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's Dazzled Possum.
No, man.
It'll say in the top right of your screen.
I'm just kidding. It's Hero Rhino. No, I did not pick this myself. Okay. It would have definitely been Peacock,
Connor, what about you?
I am Dazzled Possum. Thank you, Kelani.
Dazzled Possum. TJ?
I am Captain Griffin.
Captain Griffin.
You're a captain.
And I came out with Dr. Dolphin. I'm okay with that. That sounds pretty intelligent. So we'll see if it actually works in my favor.
Can you make the dolphin noise for us?
No.
Come on.
Okay, I think we're about ready.
Hey, Lonnie, you want to go get tissues when you lose?
So 12 players signed up.
I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm getting so competitive right now.
Oh no. Connor, have you ever played racquetball?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I did, I don't know if you consider.
All right, 3. Here we go. Where do French fries originally come from? Belgium, Germany, France, USA.
Yeah.
Is this a
By
trick
the way, if you're just doing this for the first time, the faster you answer, the more points you get if you're right.
Ah!
Time is ticking down. Just a few more seconds to make your choice. I went with Belgium. We'll see.
Oh.
Ooh, it's right. 6 went with USA.
Kelani, you want
It
this?
seemed very American.
Dr. Dolphin takes an early lead. Thank you very much.
2 more points than I did.
This country has more pyramids than any other country. This country, Mexico, Egypt, Peru, or Sudan. This is a tough one.
I'm going to have my husband look these up.
Camel.
You're given the picture of a camel. I'm not sure that really helps very much, to be honest. Maybe it eliminates Mexico.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
10 people answered. 11. 12 answered with 2 seconds to go. Sudan.
Oh darn. There
I
went
knew
my,
it was the one.
there went my correct streak.
Yeah, I got it right.
Why aren't I up there?
Number 3. Where were the first sailing boats built?
Oh, okay.
Egypt, England, Greece, Norway.
I'm going to hide my face after this.
I don't know this one.
Racquetball questions.
Yeah, I studied on racquetball, okay?
I studied on everything but these last 3 questions.
Yeah.
Egypt, Greece, England, or Norway? What do you think, TJ?
I selected Greece, so
I
we'll
did
see.
too, but I think I'm wrong.
The ones I answer really fast tend to be wrong.
It's Egypt.
Darn.
One person got it correct. Well done, that one person. Gentle Jaguar got it right. They jumped up to number 2. True or false? Times double the points. Paula Longoria is the current world champion. Remember, answer quickly. We only have 7 answers. Everybody's waiting for the picture. They want to see who.
Is it Gabby?
Did you get it right, Kelani? Did you get it right?
Stop it. Stop patronizing me.
Ooh, 50-50. For those of you, a reminder that Longoria lost in 2018, and we haven't had a 2020 World Championships.
Oh,
That was a trick question.
That was a great question. Jay came up with that one. You can message him.
Who even is this J guy?
In which country is selling, importing, or spitting out chewing gum illegal?
Oh, good grief.
I don't know.
Australia, South Africa, Singapore, North Korea. I don't know. I had to guess.
Oh, that is a phone a friend kind of question.
I'm not sure any friend would know, to be honest.
Just a wild guess there.
Can we make the scoreboard go out through 8th place so I can see myself again?
Please.
No, there's 12 spots. Singapore.
Random guess. Right.
7 people know that.
I'm still not up there.
Next question. This country follows the calendar, which is 7 years behind the rest of the world. Madagascar, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, or Ethiopia.
Gesundheit.
Kyrgyzstan is how I should have said it. Madagascar, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, or Ethiopia? Oh, I got it wrong. I already know what the right answer is, and I got it wrong.
What?
I'm not telling you. There's 4 people who haven't answered.
All right. Again, taking a wild guess on this. I'm not sure about that one.
Connor, what did you say?
Dang it.
Yes.
Oh, I knew it was Ethiopia. I put Kyrgyzstan.
Game.
Another lucky guess.
Oh, wow.
Captain Griffin climbing
I'm
on
gonna
a
throw
hot streak.
TJ,
Famous composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Austria, Australia, France, or the Netherlands. I'm not sure
like
the
this
picture is
song,
going to help too
not-
much because it's, well, maybe not Australia. I don't know.
TJ, what's your name again?
I'm Captain Griffin.
TJ in second place. Can she stay there?
Yeah, I guessed on this one, but
Austria is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard.
I think we're good.
Dolphin, Captain Griffin, Space Panther, Daring Dingo, Legend Eagle.
Who are these people?
yeah, Tim, stop answering so fast. I feel like you have a head start.
2019 USA National Intercollegiate Women's Champion, Kelani, Carla, Rhonda, Holly.
Oh, I know this one.
Everyone's gonna immediately pick Kelani because she said she knew it.
Yeah, y'all better pick Rhonda, please.
Oh, that would be
Love that. Please pick Rhonda.
well. If you can't identify the picture, oh, there's 2 people who still haven't answered. 2 people didn't answer.
And
The answer is Holly. Somebody did pick Rhonda.
Obviously.
back on the leaderboard. Kelani, where are you at? Back.
I'm right here. What? I'm
Number
too old.
9, Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world. Where is it located? Canada, Argentina, Russia, or Indonesia?
Ooh. Again, my best guess on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is odd going, like my brain going from the racquetball to irrelevant questions back to racquetball.
These are relevant to some.
I'm not sure the picture's going to help you. It's a picture of a deep lake.
Oh, not
That's definitely Indonesia.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
Russia.
wrong. Brr.
I got that wrong. Daring Dingo climbs to 3rd, overtaking Space Panther.
Who are
4
you?
more questions. Which country covers almost 50% of the South American continent? Brazil, Argentina, Peru, or Venezuela?
Watch this green. It's gonna be green.
Confident, says Kelani Lawrence.
It's gonna be green. Just watch.
Kahoot's really sassy. I got the last one wrong, and it was like, that's okay. Everybody has a good day and bad day.
Almost everybody got it right. 9 out of 10. TJ.
I was so sure it was Argentina. Darn. Wow.
Daring Dingo climbs closer to 2nd. The concept of shampooing, from the word shampoo, that means to massage, came from China, Peru, India, or Turkey.
Okay, what is that picture?
Shampooing.
Shampooing.
Like from the back.
China, Peru, India, or Turkey.
Ugh. Ugh.
Did
I
anybody
don't
else?
know about this one.
I have no idea.
Again, wow. Yes. I'm saying I'm learning something to. Nope.
India is the correct answer. Very mixed bag on that response.
Oh, I got.
4 and 3.
Sorry.
Oh, TJ dropping down to 3rd. Daring Dingo climbing to 2nd. The heaviest building in the world is located in Germany, Romania, Austria, or Hungary.
Oh, let's see.
How do you weigh a building?
That's a great question.
And are people in it when you weigh it, or?
I'm gonna go by the architectural criteria and the straight line.
Germany.
But I took a random guess on this one too.
Oh man. Wow.
Romania.
Ooh, last one I didn't get a cookie. This time my head apparently isn't in the game.
Winged Wombat is on a hot streak, climbing the table, currently in 4th.
I just got pushed to 5th.
2 more questions. What's the story of the Statue of Liberty on Liberty Island in New York City? It was ordered from China. It was built by an American architect. It's a gift from France to the people of the U.S. It's a gift from Canada to the people of the U.S.
You know this one.
It was ordered from China and delivered by boat. It was built by an American architect as a symbol of freedom. It's a gift from France to the people of the USA. It's a gift from Canada to the people of the USA.
Well, if you've watched the National Treasure series, you should know this answer.
Yep.
And everybody got it right. Congratulations to all. I think that's the first time we've all got a question right. Last question, I bet, is a racquetball question, right? Here it is, Jay. Jay. Last question, ×2. Who is the current USA Women's National Singles Champion? Longoria, Kelani, Erica, or Holly?
It's Paola.
Who is it? Oh, it's
Ding, 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 ding.
me.
Hey, she looks familiar.
Yeah.
Guess that wrong on purpose.
All right, let's see who comes out in the top. Everybody got it right. Well done.
Good job, everyone.
Whew, good.
Two at the last 2. All right, podium. In 3rd place, Captain Griffin. Well done, TJ.
Third, the bronze.
2nd place, Daring Dingo. Daring Dingo, identify yourself if you were in the chat box so we can give you some love. And Dr. Dolphin claims top spot. So well done to everybody participating. Hope you enjoyed that little back and forth. Connor, Kelani, what were your thoughts?
What do I think about that?
Yeah, I beat Kelani. I'm happy about that.
See, bragging rights.
Rude. I think it was rigged.
Yeah, Tim, didn't you write these questions? Are you first?
Jay wrote these questions, by the way, not me. And a lot of them are random. Kahoot creates them. So
Weren't
good
they
try.
the same as
No.
last year or last week? I think they were the same.
Those animals.
Last week was not good. Last week was not good. 2nd place, by the way, goes to, well, he's claiming it. He's claiming it, but he claims a lot of things. JD Shelton. So well done, JD, on claiming 2nd place. Okay, I want to show you one more thing before we leave. And here we go. There's Kelani with a certain husband and dog. We don't want to forget those as well as part of your family. And tell us a little bit what it's been like transitioning from, becoming married, creating a family, having a home, a new home, and also having a full-time job and being on tour. It's got to be difficult.
Whew, that was a mouthful. I also have a bunny. Let's not forget about Buttons. She just didn't want to. She didn't want to pose for the picture. Yeah, it's fun. It's very busy, to say the least, and you really have to be on your schedule. And for me, I have to really just be self-motivated to do all of it and pick out times. I'm going to wake up at this time this day and go to the gym at this time this day. And on this day, I'm going to go to the gym here and play racquetball here. So it's like a big puzzle, and you kind of just have to put it all together. And as far as family time, just including them with everything makes everything more fun, and you can spend time with them. So I'm lucky Sam likes to go to the gym. So that's something we can do together. And Nala likes outdoor runs, so we can do that together. And right now, most of the gyms here, so we're still shut down pretty much, but a lot of the gyms are having outdoor exercise classes. So we'll bring her, and she'll lay down under a tree, and I'll do my little HIIT class or whatever, and she'll enjoy watching. But really, it's just fun to have life still going, and playing on the tour, you can do everything if you want to. You don't have to choose. I think that's a thing people, I guess, have a misconception about. You can have a family. I don't have kids or anything, so Adrian and Maria, they have kids, so they can speak to that. But still, just having a family and professional career, it can be done. Just takes a little more effort. So.
And Connor, just looking back at the last few months, where it's been coronavirus, everything went up in the air and it's changed. But you were starting to get involved just before then. What have you learned about the racquetball community and USA racquetball in general?
Like you said, it is very hard to take an opinion one way or the other because this is a situation nobody's experienced in. So it's not like, having precedents to figure out exactly how everybody interacts. But I think I really enjoy the community far more than any other I've ever worked with. Specifically. You're good.
In time for someone to call me. Nobody ever calls me. I have no friends.
We didn't want to say it.
It was actually me.
It gives him more time to think about his answer.
No, I really enjoy the diversity in the community. I think is really cool because there's a lot of tours on. There's a lot of different communities in racquetball that I think are all very tight knit, and that's something that I haven't experienced before. I mean, there's a lot of sports that say they're tight knit, but in watching the racquetball community, it doesn't really matter what event you're at. Everybody is having a good time for the most part, and everybody is talking to each other. The Facebook presence is fairly positive. I mean, it's amazing to watch everybody interact from all different walks of life, whether or not you were a national champion in 1960, or whether you were one last year. I mean, there's the same amount of respect, the same amount of love. So I really enjoy that. But I mean, I do really, really want to get back into business. I mean, COVID-19 has been a hit for everybody. Small sports in general, and the events industry as a whole is wrecked. I really want things to open up safely, but then we can really start getting going, and I can really see the community in action.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have a special guest who wanted to come online, and so let's see if they can. Malia, can you hear us?
I'm not there to help her out with the tech stuff. Okay.
Malia, can you hear us?
Camera on. Don't make me tell them how old you are.
Well, while we try to get this worked out, TJ, Connor was talking a little bit about business and talk a little bit about LPRT. Obviously, the season finished the way we didn't want it to finish. What's going on coming up this fall? Talk a little bit about sponsorships, how the LPRT is doing during this financial crisis and this pandemic.
Yeah, as Kelani mentioned, we had to cancel a few events that would have closed out our season. Fortunately, our giant Grand Slam, our Kansas event sponsored by Randy Root, teamroot.com, got postponed till, fingers crossed, mid-August. And we're hopeful for that one just because it's not an amateur event. It is strictly the Pro Tour. So I am just at this point monitoring whether these pro players can get on courts to play and practice and be ready by that mid-August date, and whether they can also travel from Mexico and Bolivia and Colombia and around the U.S. and get to Kansas City. So those are the major factors, but I'm planning at this point that we're moving forward and we're going to be in Kansas. So $60,000 is such an amazing, generous prize money purse. We certainly don't want to miss it, and the players. It'll help the players. It's a lot. It should be an exciting event as well. As far as our we've been doing a lot of work. We have plenty of time right now, downtime. We're not traveling. We're not having any events. So we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes and getting ready for everything, getting ready for this season whenever it starts. One of those things is sponsor opportunities. There's plenty. I say this all the time, but there's so many creative ways to market a business through these amazing athletes. They're so talented. They're very marketable. As Connor pointed out, social media is such a big spotlight right now. Everybody's on it. The stream is a good place to spotlight a business too. So if you're interested, my email's up there. Reach out to me and we can discuss ways to be creative to support your business.
Well, I do want to say thank you to both Connor and Kelani for joining us this evening and sharing your time. TJ, talk a little bit about what's coming up next week. And I know Kelani doesn't like to talk about next week when she's on the show. But talk about who's coming up next week. It should be a fun one as well.
Yeah, so number 3 ranked player on tour, Samantha Salas. So that should be exciting. This one will be in English, so she will do her best English. She's very good. So no worries there. But we'll have a special guest also towards the end of the hour. Coach Winterton will join us, and I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about the following week. Coach Winterton will be back with Dr. Joe Shattuck and Erica Mania. So we've got two exciting weeks coming up.
All right. Well, Connor and Kelani, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Do appreciate your time and contributions. And you're gonna have to work on a peacock move, Kelani. That doesn't work.
I'm liking that. Roll with that.
You can do your back flex thing that you do during matches. But thank you both very much for joining us. And of course, on behalf of myself, Tim Baghurst and TJ Bamba, thanks so much for joining the Service Box. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.